What's up, people? Cypher here. This is a basic hero guide to using Alastor. Alastor is basically a noob. He's from the Ultramarines, and he's one of the more recent characters from what I can see. He's not, doesn't mean that he's weak. This dude seems to be not only very powerful, but he creates sort of an energy about him the other forces inherit. So, sort of like a morale boost in a way. That's within the lore side, it seems, anyway. In game, he was the first hero, be it an epic hero, to have the skill Rebound, or whatever it's specifically called, but when it's known as Rebound. He was the first person to bring it in, so he was kind of the first person everyone was jumping on to try and really get it, because at that point it wasn't really known to how effective it was. So let's get into this and see what his attributes in game are like. He boosts Vanguard Veteran HP, and he'll do that by 37.4%. Luckily I've maxed out my Alastor, so we get to see all percentages at their top. I may have some armor parts on as well, so his power might be higher than its usual. But anyway, he also increases march speed towards hostiles. So if you're going for events and you need to hit some hostiles, then he's a wise choice to put in your deployment to go for the hostiles. You may get to them quicker than the other people. When it's coming to certain events, you might have to race to get to these hostiles, and yeah, he might be your winning ticket. He also, as appointed within your appointable building, he will increase hospital capacity by 440. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you actually look at 440 T9, that's pretty expensive, you know. So yeah, that's a decent little extra addition to it as well, so long as he's appointed in that area. So I'm really loving his attributes, you know, and in all fairness, he is one of my favorite characters. When he came through, it was just like, wow, you know. He also has a similar skill to what Cantor has, I'm pretty certain. So he has a good amount about him to say that he will work in a lot of different deployments. The thing that you might find about him is not many people use him because he's busy defending the base. Most people stick it in their defending garrison, so that when people try and attack them, they'll scout first, see there's rebound in the base, and they may be deterred. They may not be, but at least they're going to take some rebound damage if they do go for an attack. So let's get into his skills. In game, he's actually got one of the best skills in game. This skill is outstanding. Prayer of Vengeance. Attack of nearby allies increased by 90% for 18 seconds. And I gotta admit, like, in terms of not only the expedition side of things, but in terms of breach assault, he's really useful. He can up the power of everyone else around him, and you're doing some mean damage to the sorcerers or the demon. Enough to say that if you combo him with a few other troops, you're going to have a very quick battle rather than having several battles with the demon ship. So this is probably by far the best, if not one of the best skills, red skills in the game. Now let's go look at what it looks like in game. And it costs less energy as well, so it's pretty decent to do. He comes in quick. And there you have it. He points his stick in his air, he gets a circle around him, and everybody's boosted for a bit. Lovely. So his skill links with his character, or syncs with his character perfectly. Like, he sort of raises his staff and he's like, come on guys, and then they just boost, and then everybody's kicking everything down. So it works brilliantly. I love it. Let's get on to his green skills then. So the first green skill is Zealous Assault 2. See, Zealous Assault is amazing. It's the opposite to Iron Will, which is that you have a 30% chance of it landing, and if it does land, it's going to increase damage dealt. Now that goes up to, if you've got a maxed Alastor, you're increasing by 65%. That's a lovely amount to be putting on, even for an epic character. Like, epic characters aren't as great as legendary, so Zealous Assault 3, in terms of the legendary side, does give off a bit more. However, if you don't have all your heroes maxed in terms of your legends that have Zealous Assault, i.e. Calgar or something, the only one you probably do have is Irinica. So when it comes to it, when you size up the rest of your Zealous Assault characters, you might find that your maxed Alastor has more percentage towards his than they have on theirs. Therefore, he's probably going to be a better choice for you to use, like, especially off the fact that he boosts vanguards, so that's dangerous as well. Now, let's get to the next skill, because that's a beautiful skill. Next skill is the one I think that, yeah, Cantor has this one. But again, it's just that Alastor's an epic character, so he has epic percentages. However, if you've got him like me, and over the course of the last at least few months, if not longer, he's been pushed in terms of fragments and getting him out more so people can max him. So I'm expecting a lot of people to have this dude maxed, and that therefore your suppressive bombardment reduces the enemy damage by 26%. That's insanely good. That's almost an Iron Will going on. Like, you know, so not so much as crazy as Iron Will, but at the same time, he's doing both sides of the table here, just on his first two skills. He's literally adding, there's a 30% chance of him increasing damage dealt within the battle by 65, I think it was, wasn't it? Let's just make sure I'm, yep, 65%. And you've also got this, which looks like a static skill. It looks like it's just going to set up in the preparation stage and be throughout the entire battle. And you get a decrease in damage by 26%. And that's just on him. That's really, really, really good. So let's get to his final skill, and by far his greatest skill, what made him so popular. Now, Bolter Discipline 2. After taking damage, our army rebounds 26% of the damage taken. Lovely rebound. So maxed out, you get 26% rebound. If you have him maxed and you have a Castor maxed, then you only need 2 rebounds in your defense garrison. I only ever suggest putting 3 rebounds if your percentages aren't going up to the 50% cap. But when you're looking at 26%, it's already brilliant. Like, that means that potentially you could stick 2 rebounds in your defense garrison and keep a rebound spare for attack purposes. Because it's always nice to at least add some in some deployments. You may need that in some circumstances. So yeah, definitely this dude has an amazing set of skills. Just, you have to ensure that you're working with other legendaries, I'd suggest, because of the fact of him having such small percentage buffs, because he's an epic character. So let's get on to hero combos. What does he have in terms of combo wise? Dangerous combos, really. Hated Foe is going to be the more, I'd say, favored one, purely because you're adding at least, let's say most people have a maxed out Irinica, so you've already added a legendary buff table to it. Yeah, if you're going to go 3 epic heroes, you're only adding epic buffs to it, which aren't as great as the legendary. But if you were to be adding Irinica Cantor, let's say you've got a maxed out Cantor as well, Irinica Cantor Alastor, like, that's insanely dangerous. You've got Alastor complementing Irinica with a Zealous Assault, so they're both bringing in a percentage buff to that. And you've also got Alastor complementing Cantor with Suppressive Bombardment. Now, both of them together, that could be a margin right there of decrease. So, out of the two, I'm looking at the Hated Foe, and I'm thinking, why am I not increasing my Cantor? Because my Cantor is okay, but he's not OP yet. I'd rather him be maxed so we could see like the overall actual what would happen in terms of this combo. Now, if you were to put him into this, not only would you get the benefits of them actually working together so well, but you gain a buff of hero attack 8%, and you gain all units attack of 8%. Like, that's just brilliant. I'm loving it. And then you've got a veteran hero, which is, most people have a Cordis and an Alastor maxed. It's just down to whether your Adrenamus is maxed up. And if it is, then you can gain a hero HP buff of 8% by adding all of those together. Now, that would be an interesting one. Now, the Hated Foe combos setup seem very similar except for Tycho. Everything seems to sort of coordinate together. The veteran hero seems to be a lot more spread across board in terms of skills. So yeah, his combos, two interesting combos, but I would say that Hated Foe is the one I'm really looking at. I just need to up my Cantor. When it comes to the armor parts, you need to have armor parts that are blessed to a point. Right there, obviously. Let's go to his overview and we'll see. So a point, support, and Vanguard veteran. If you have any of your armor parts that are blessed in one of those categories, he will then gain the extra blessing boost for it. Now, when it comes to sending out in rallies, single attacks, attack, defense, I'm saying he's sort of a middleman. He's not really full-blown attack, but he's not really full-blown defense. He's kind of more so defense. I'd say he's leaning on the defense side of it in terms of a structure. But he could definitely work in attacking deployments. I just highly doubt that you'd want to use him as a rally lead. And I highly doubt that you'd want... Actually, I don't know. He might be useful in the damage side of it. I'm certain that Zealous Assault does pop off during the rally if you were fighting. So, he could work potentially in that. But it's the problem of him being an epic character and not bringing to the table as great a buffs as some other choices could. So there is that. Now all that's left is to BopaBase. So I'm sending the Hated Foe combo towards this dead base basically. I just want to see sort of the setup basically, not so much the battle but preparation. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm looking for the preparation. So there we go, we bopped it. I only sent T6s, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I sent a bunch of T6s. Little T6 deployment to wallop. So let's go into the reports and go into the preparation. So we have Alastor's Zealous Assault is giving the 65%, all the while Irenika's giving 78%. So that's something right there. And Suppressive Bombardment is going with Cantor's Suppressive Bombardment, which is adding up to about 39% reduction. I'm alright with that. My Cantor is not that great, so as you can see, 13%, it could be way better than that. So adding him into a max Cantor could be really dangerous, because then look underneath that, you got Lethal Fighter, crit damage. So you're giving off some major crit while suppressing damage, all the while increasing the damage dealt you're dealing by a good up to, what is it, 78 and 26. That's a good amount. That's insane. So when it comes to it, and look at that, straight off the bat the Hellblasters launch an attack and they get boosted by both of them, which then just straight slaughters. So I'm loving that. That's a brilliant combo right there. Ace, well that's Alastor. Thank you very much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like my video, subscribe to the channel and comment if you'd like to. Much appreciated if you do. Bless up.